Hello, my name is Rachel and welcome to my channel. I am here today to do a book haul of some of the books I've got through the end of August and this first week of September. So yeah, here we go. So the first book and the main book that I got was Golden Sun. This is second in the Red Rising trilogy, which if you watched my August reading wrap up, you will see that I adored, and yeah, I had to just go straight out and get this. I am 131 pages into it, and it's just started really heating up, and oh my god, it was really hard to stop reading to do some filming because it's really, really good. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this series. If anyone was wondering, you should pick it up and definitely read it. The next book I got was The Throne of Glass Book 1 by Sarah J Maas. Now, I've heard about this for a while and it's always been getting like really good reviews and people rave about it all the time. But it was one of those books where I didn't want to read it when it came out because I wanted to kind of wait until there were a few in the series, because it really like winds me up when you've only got like 2 out in a series of, say there's going to be like 8 and you're just waiting and waiting and waiting. It just, I cannot cope with it. So I've waited a while and I think there's around 6 of these out now. So I feel like this is a good time. I can start it now and still be there in time for the last ones. So that's the best place for me to be. If anyone hasn't heard of it, which would be weird, it is about Selena Saradathian. In the dark, filthy salt mines of Endovia, an 18-year-old girl is serving a life sentence. She is a trained assassin, the best of her kind, but she made a fatal mistake. She got caught. Young Captain Westfall offers her a deal, her freedom in return for one huge sacrifice. Selena must represent the prince in a to-the-death tournament, fighting the most gifted thieves and assassins in the land. Live or die, Selena will be free. Win or lose, she is about to discover her true destiny, but will her assassin's heart be melted? So yeah, I'm really excited about this, and I really like the cover art as well. She looks really badass. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. The next 2 books I got together at the same time, and the first one is Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. Yeah, Aldous Huxley. This is a dystopian novel, one of the first kind of dystopian novels like we know it nowadays. Says, far in the future, the world controllers have created the ideal society. Through clever use of genetic engineering, brainwashing, and recreational sex and drugs, all its members are happy consumers. Bernard Marx seems alone, harbouring an ill-defined longing to break free. A visit to one of the few remaining savage reservations where the old imperfect life still continues may be the cure for his distress. Now, I've wanted to read this for a really long time. I know they did it on the dystopian course at my university, and one of my friends said it was really, really good. She loved it, so I've wanted to read it since then, and yeah, I've picked it up because I want to read it for the banned book-a-thon at the end of this month. So yeah, I got that one, and then I also got The Waves by Virginia Woolf. I really enjoy studying feminism and feminist writing, and obviously Virginia Woolf is a massive part of that. So yeah, I got this. The Waves is an astonishingly beautiful and poetic novel. It begins with 6 children playing in a garden by the sea and follows their lives as they grow up and experience friendship, love, and grief at the death of their beloved friend Percival. Regarded by many as her greatest work, The Waves is also seen as Virginia Woolf's response to the loss of her brother Toby, I'm not sure, this is a weird spelling, who died when he was 26. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this. I have read some stuff by her before, but I've only read like the shorter stories that are like streams of consciousness. So it'll be interesting to read an actual full-size novel by her. So yeah, I got this one. Then I got a few popular young adult novels at the moment. I am currently I've applied for a job at a secondary school to work in the library, and I'm probably going to have an interview soon, so I need to like read some young adult books so that I can be like, yes, I'm way on it, please hire me. So the first of the young adult ones was The Rest of Us Just Live Here by Patrick Ness. I've heard of quite a lot of books by Patrick Ness, and I've always fancied reading them, to be fair. It says, not everyone has to be the chosen one. What if you're not an indie kid fighting zombies or whatever this new thing is with the blue lights and the death? What if you're like Mikey, who just wants to graduate before someone blows up the high school again? Sometimes you just have to discover how even an ordinary life can be extraordinary. The back of this kind of reminds me of Carry On by Rainbow Rowell, just because it's that sort of like manipulating the chosen one story. So yeah, I started seeing kind of interesting, and I've not read anything by Patrick Ness, and I need to read young adult novels. So yeah, the next book I picked up was Beautiful Broken Things by Sarah Bernard. This is about two girls who are friends, I think, and then another girl comes in and it kind of challenges their friend group. The last one of those ones I got was Everything Everything by Nicola Yoon. I actually have wanted to read this for a while anyway. It's about a girl who is, it sounds like she's agoraphobic. Yeah, agoraphobic, where you, I think that's one where you can't leave your house anyway. So she's allergic to the world and she hasn't left her house in 17 years, and then a boy moves in next door and he's trying to find a way to meet her. So yeah, well, it's quite short actually, so it's like just under 300 pages. So I think this will be quite a fast read. Then the next one is a young adult one, but I didn't get it for that reason, I got it for myself completely. And it's Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Now, I got this for two reasons. Number one, I think it sounds really interesting that it has pictures in it to tell the story. It sounds like a really interesting way of, you know, retelling a story and changing it from the way that not people normally do it. So that was really intriguing, and I'd like to see how that works. And second is that there's a movie coming out, and Tim Burton's directed it, and Eva Green's in it, and that is enough for me completely. I would definitely be there watching it. So yeah, I had to get this one. It says, a mysterious island, an abandoned orphanage, a strange collection of peculiar photographs. It all waits to be discovered in Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, an unforgettable novel that mixes fiction and photography in a thrilling reading experience. As Jacob explores its decaying bedrooms and hallways, it becomes clear that Miss Peregrine's children were more than just peculiar. They may have been dangerous, they may have been quarantined on a deserted island for good reason, and somehow, impossible though it seems, they may still be alive. So yeah, this actually just does sound really, really good and exciting, and this picture on the front is really cool. I actually only haven't got it before. I've wanted it for a while, but because the film is coming out, they keep having a new cover that has Eva Green on and some of the other actors out of it. And I mean, I have no problem with Eva Green being on a book cover, but I just think that this is really nice and it's a really cool picture. So I wanted this one instead. So I was waiting until I found this one. The next book I got was The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. I've heard really good things about this, and I just really, really like the name. I think the name just sounds really, really cute. So, I mean, I'm going to be honest, that was a big reason of me getting it, just because the name's cute. It says, when Rosemary Harper joins the crew of the Wayfarer, she isn't expecting much. The Wayfarer, a patched up ship that's seen better days, offers her everything she could possibly want. A small, quiet spot to call home for a while, adventure in far-off corners of the galaxy, and distant from her troubled past. Which I don't want to really read the rest, because it sounds like spoilers. I think they've put, like, the main bit of the plot in white, and then they've put until, and then this bit I feel like will all be spoilers for what I don't want them to tell me, so I'm not reading that bit. But yeah, it was shortlisted for the Science Fiction Book of the Year, which is cool. And I don't read a lot of science fiction. I mean, I've been reading the Red Rising trilogy, but that's kind of dystopian fantasy science fiction. And I do want to read more because I do really enjoy it. I just always find myself reading more fantasy than science fiction. So yeah, this is a good thing to give a try. The next thing I got was a fantasy book. And that was The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. This is the Mistborn book 1. Yeah, just everyone seems to recommend this book like crazy all the time on BookTube. I like the cover. The cover's pretty cool. Some fantasy books I find don't have cool covers, and I'm a like cover person, so this is actually really pretty and I like. It says highly recommended to anyone hungry for a read, and that is by Robin Hobb. So I mean, you can't get much of a better thing than being told it's a good book by Robin Hobb. That's pretty much all you need to hear. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this. And the last book I got was a present from my girlfriend, and it is The Beauty Myth: How Images of Beauty Are Used Against Women by Naomi Wolf. I've read the intro to this. Well, it's kind of an intro on like what the beauty myth is, and I've read the section on work at the moment, and this is just such an eye-opener. Reading a lot about how like women have been fired because all women used to have to get fired when they were 32 from being air hostesses because they weren't young and pretty anymore, and women who have been told that they dress to get raped and things like that. It's just unbelievably ridiculous, some of the stuff that's happened and that they've said so far. And yeah, I'm finding it really, really interesting. I'm someone who like it suffers a bit with having a negative view of myself, and this is trying to say that that negative view is programmed into you by society. And so yeah, it's kind of cool, and I'm really enjoying it actually. So yeah, and they are the books that I've got this month. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you very much. Bye.